The White House is highlighting a statement made by the North Korea's #2 man, Kim Jong-nam. North Korea is known to have built a long-range missile base in the Yellow Sea. The Lee Myung-bak administration has presented its master plan for balanced national growth. Hello and welcome to KBS World News Today. It's Thursday, the 11th of September. The U.S. says North Korea must still carry out its obligations whether a leadership shift occurs or not. This comes in the middle of the speculation of the health condition of the North Korea's leader, Kim Jong-il.
The U.S. State Department says North Korea must carry out its duties even if its leader Kim Jong-il is gravely ill and Pyongyang sees a power shift.
So regardless of who is taking the decisions or how they are arrived at in the North Korean system, they need to act.
The nominee for the State Department's North Korea specialist Sung Kim told the Senate hearing that Pyongyang will be making a big mistake if it restores its nuclear facilities.
Some movement in Yongbyon that might indicate that they would move towards restoring Yongbyon, but these steps have been limited.
The White House is also highlighting a statement made by the North's #2 man, Kim Jong-nam. A White House official says Kim Jong-nam's comment on his desire for progress and the importance of the six-party talks is a positive sign. The official also says comments on Kim Jong-il's rumored illness will be reserved until Pyongyang is ready to talk about it. But the State Department says it has heard of the rumors and will not underestimate them.
North Korea is known to have built a long-range missile base in the Yellow Sea. Sources say the base has upgraded functions and a longer shooting range than the existing launch pad.
The satellite image shows what is presumed to be North Korea's intercontinental long-range missile base. The Associated Press says the base was discovered by Joseph Bermudez and Tim Brown from private satellite imagery analysis company TalentKeyhole.com. The two American analysts have been tracing the construction of the base using satellite images. The report says construction of the missile base was launched 8 years ago, but the facility has not been used yet. The base is a 10-story tower designed to support ballistic missiles and rockets. The facility also has a rocket motor testing site, similar in size to that of the rocket testing in Iran. But facilities for assembling missiles prior to launch and radar tracking have not yet been spotted. Analyst Bermudez says the main purpose of the base is missile testing. He'll publish a satellite image of the base in Jane's Defense Weekly next week. A U.S. official who spoke on the anonymous condition says the Washington has known about the new missile base for years. He says the North continued construction even after the U.S. resumed effort to persuade a Stalinist state to abandon its nuclear ambition. U.S. satellite imagery analysts say the base shows the Pyongyang's intent to increase its missile capacity so that its missiles can reach the U.S. mainland.
The Lee Myung-bak administration has presented its master plan for balanced national growth. The top industries of 7 large economic regions will receive government support of more than $45 million over the next 5 years.
The Balanced National Development Plan divides the country into 7 economic regions. Government support will focus on the top industries of each region, composed of cities and provinces grouped together to motivate growth.
글로벌 경쟁력을 갖춘 광역 경제권이 조기 실현되고 광역권의 경제사회 통합과 발전의 토대가 마련될 수 있기를 기대하고 있습니다.
The knowledge industry will be promoted in the Seoul metropolitan area and the biotech and semiconductor industries in the Chungcheong provinces. The green industry will be promoted in the Jeolla provinces, while the southeastern region, including Busan, Ulsan, and South Gyeongsang province, will be developed into a logistics complex based on Busan Newport. Daegu and North Gyeongsang Province will focus on the energy industry. Gangwon Province will turn into a well-being and health mecca, promoting tourism. Jeju Island will do the same and be made into an international free city. More roads and railroads will be built to enable smoother logistics between the 7 economic regions. For this, new roads around the metropolitan area and highways will be built and railroad lines expanded. The budget will be more than $45 billion over the next 5 years. But critics say this plan is barely different from prior strategies on provincial development. They say better planning is needed if the project is to attract private capital.
Scientists have developed the nation's first nursing robot. The robot can measure body temperature and pulse and transport medicine and patients' charts.
3번 방이랑 5번 방에 가서 입원 환자들 체온 모두 재고할 로봇.
As soon as the nurse gives instructions, the robot heads to the patient's ward. The robot stops in front of the room and measures the patient's body temperature through wireless communication with a patch attached to the patient's body. The name of this medical robot is Pyro M1. The robot can perform the basic health checks and transport medicines and patients' charts.
병원에서 간호사 선생님들이 단순 관련되는 여러 업무에 많은 스트레스를 받는다는 것을 알게 됐을 때 단순 반복 업무는 역시 로봇이 대체할 수 있지 않을까 해서.
The Pohang Institute of the Intelligent Robotics and Gyeongbuk National University Hospital have jointly developed the nation's first medical robot in a year.
밤밤 근무할 때 이제 환자분들 저들의 병실에 이제 문 열고 들어가면서 좀 깨실 수도 있고 이런데 이제 저 로봇 이용하면은 환자분한테 방해가 안 되면서 좀 도움이 될 거라.
The hospital will commercialize the robot early next year after obtaining approval from Korea Food and Drug Administration. The development of the robots performing surgery, capsule laparoscopy, and now nursing has been ushering the era of the medical robotics.
A study has found that the traditional Korean alcoholic beverage makgeolli is effective in preventing high blood pressure. Makgeolli is a milky and sweet rice-based drink.
Shilla University's marine biology think tank has studied for the past year the effects of the alcoholic drink makgeolli in preventing high blood pressure. For this, pure floating substances from alcohol-extracted makgeolli was put in an enzyme that causes high blood pressure. Test results say the makgeolli's floating substance can prevent enzymes that raise blood pressure by as much as 80%. The drink is almost as effective as the high blood pressure treatment captopril, whose prevention rate is 90%. The effect is greater with freshly made makgeolli with living ferments.
이 부유물이 아주 많은 그런 기능을 가지고 있기 때문에 흔들어서 드셔야 되고 시중에서 흔히 구할 수 있는 그런 막걸리를 드시면 되겠습니다.
Tests on white mice found that the substance was effective in improving liver functions and blood circulation. But the study could not find what protein substance can prevent enzymes causing high blood pressure. Using the research results, the team is planning to develop specialized makgeolli drinks for preventing high blood pressure.
Silkworms have traditionally been used to produce silk only, but companies are now using silkworms to make cosmetic, soap, and other daily necessities. Korean scientists have also developed natural silk that contains antibacterial silver nano.
Colorful caterpillars grab children's attention. From yellow, red to spotted caterpillars, these insects are used to produce silk fibers. Adults are also excited to see silkworms.
기존에 알고 있던 것보다 색깔이 너무 컬러풀하고 예뻐서 핑크색이라든지 보라색 너무 아이들도 좋아할 것 같아요.
The Rural Development Administration has produced daily necessities like cosmetics and soap using silkworms. Functional silk using silver nanotechnology has also been developed. The technology allows the production of the silver nano silk by simply sprinkling the mulberry leaves, the main food of silkworms, with silver nano but without chemicals.
농가에서 손쉽게 사육이 가능하며 따라서 다양한 용도 개발이 추진된다면 양양 농가의 새로운 소득원으로서 자리매김할 것으로 이렇게 생각이 듭니다.
The patent technology can be used to make the textile products, including functional apparel. Production of high value-added cosmetics is the next step. The antibacterial and the deodorizing functions of silver nano silk await official approval. The Rural Development Administration will then step up the development of the products using silver nano silk.
A school of dolphins has been captured on video trying to save the life of a dying member. Here's a look at how the mammals try to save one of their own.
A school of dolphins swims through the blue water. They form a breathtaking scene with seagulls flying peacefully above. This is footage of a group of dolphins diving and swimming. A seemingly exhausted dolphin lies on its back. The dolphin hardly moves and seems to have trouble breathing. Other members of the school keep pushing it above the surface so it can breathe. This continues for an hour, but the dolphin dies. The others still try to bring their friend back to life, but in vain. The dead dolphin slowly submerges into the sea. The others remain for a while, as if waiting for it to come back.
사망 시에 좀 더 편안하게 사망할 수 있도록 옆에 동료들이 도와주고 부추겨주는 그런 행동입니다.
The dolphin is considered one of the world's most intelligent animals, but also seems highly capable of sympathy for their own kind.
Famous Chinese pianist Lang Lang has come to Korea to perform with Korean maestro Jung Myung-hoon. Here's a story of two fabulous musicians.
Chinese pianist Lang Lang shows off his country's remarkable ability in classical music at the opening ceremony of Beijing Olympics. He's now in Korea for a concert under the direction of Korean maestro Jung Myung-hoon. This is their second joint performance following one in France in spring. The young pianist's energetic performance wins the approving smile from the conductor. Lang Lang is considered a rising star in the classical music, but is humbled by the maestro's masterful command of the famed Italian orchestra.
He's great. Yeah, absolutely great.
Too short.
No, I mean, it's really. I mean, he really he did so much for the music world, and I'm sure many Korean musicians look.
Lang is known for his incredibly fast fingers and flashy techniques. Chung says the Lang reminds him of his early years as a pianist. Chung advises Lang not to be afraid to make mistakes.
기가 막히게 재주가 있죠. 그리고 손가락은 아주 귀신같이 돌아가고 계속 실수를 하고 또 그것을 넘어가야지만 또 되니까.
These two famed musicians have attracted global classical music attention to Korea and China.
Countryside villages isolated in the process of urbanization are going under makeovers to survive. Let's go visit them to get a close look. A winding path through a forest leads to a remote village located midway up a mountain, 600 meters above sea level. It is Moundong, a former mining village in Yeongwon, Gangwon province. The mountainside village that deteriorated along with the coal industry has begun to take up bright colors to transform into a one big storybook. The villagers themselves have painted heartwarming murals everywhere around the village.
처음에 이제 붓을 잡을 때 상당히 겁을 냈었는데요. 막상 해보니까 재미있고 못 그려도 그만큼 그 운치가 있기 때문에 아주 즐거운 마음으로 그리고 있습니다.
The villagers who had never held a paintbrush in their lives pitched in to save their home village from disappearing. Pretty flowers and trees have been planted along the once barren roadsides. The abandoned mining office building has turned into a little museum showcasing things from the old days the villagers have donated. The villagers' efforts have finally brought hope to their hometown that had been falling to pieces. And having been isolated for years, the place is seeing visitors again.
주민들 직접, 그것도 연세 있으신 분들이 호미를 하나씩 읽고 나서 그걸 갖고 놓은 거라는 데서 더 놀랐고요. 그 꿈을 실는 것 같아요, 벽화에다가. 그런 동화적인 요소들, 느낌들, 그게 좋아요. 신선한 느낌도 들었고요.
The old school building has become a nice, beautiful place for tourists to stay during their visits. Some tourists join in the fun and help villagers paint murals. Here's another small Gangwon province village in Wonju. The residents are giving their hometown a makeover as well. The village library, where children come to play and read, doesn't look like any plain old library. Villagers have renovated an old bus into a mini library for kids. It is the one and only of its kind in Korea. The roadside art gallery at the village entrance is also a brainchild of the villagers. The pictures drawn by the village elementary students are hung on the metal safety railings.
사람이 떨어지고 이 갇혀놓다 위험했어요. 그 이제 텐스를 맹길어서 어떻게 했으면 이거를 좀 경관도 좋고 우리가 활용하기 좋겠나 이렇게 아이들을 맹길다 보니까 그러면 여기다 그림을 붙이면 좋겠다.
The chiropractic walk, usually seen only in city parks, has been also made by the villagers themselves. They have searched and collected the rocks and hauled them from the stream side to make the path for the elderly villagers. The villagers say they have gained great confidence and learned that with just a little effort, they could do almost anything without any special resource. Pretty villages make residents happy and are themselves great tourism resources. The residents' efforts to save their homes has brought hope and life back to their villages. Here are today's economic indicators and the weather. That's it for this edition of KBS World News Today. Have a nice day and thank you for watching.